Welcome back, folks, once again to Homeworld Remastered. As always, I'm Falcon, your host. And we are finishing up the quest here with the giant sphere of doom.
Copies.
I didn't bother to capture any more ships out of it because, frankly, I don't really need them. The next mission is a copper-plated bitch, as they say. It's probably one of the hardest missions in the game. In fact, it probably is the hardest mission in the game. There's probably there's really no consideration on that one. It definitely is. I have the fleet to deal with it, though. I, of course, have a larger fleet than I'm really supposed to. Generally, this would be a battle that you would have to recover from. You have to spend a lot of your resources to rebuild after. I'm not going to have to spend any resources, really, to speak of, because I'm going to pretty much wipe the floor with it. Having said that, make no mistake, it definitely is one of the hardest fights in the game. Once again, I am recording this not at my house. I am on vacation. I'm recording this somewhere else. So there might be additional sounds and background noises different than usual.
We have to assume that the Homeworld's defensive fleet must be alerted to our presence. All vessels and crews in maximum readiness. Weapons and tracking at 100% efficiency. The fleet is ready. There can be no retreat now.
Woo! Here we go. You'll note the massive numbers of ships. I'm going to actually pause the game before we really get into much. You will see my fleet is arranged as effectively as they really can be. Unfortunately, that's how they jump in, so there's really only so much you can do. Now, we will look over here. There is a fair number of fighter craft and heavy corvettes of the enemies. But the main thing to note here is all of these assault frigates. There is a ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous number of assault frigates on this map, in this level, in this fleet that is awaiting me. It's truly insane. They do have some multi-gun corvettes as well. The strike craft are not going to be a real issue, though, because I'm going to just lock them all down with gravity well generators, and they will be useless. There's all these assault frigates, though. There is a ridiculous, truly, immensely ridiculous amount of assault frigates. It's just silly. If these were ion cannon frigates, they would probably wipe my fleet out, because there's so freaking many of them. This is the main danger. You have a lot of time before you really have to deal with it, though, which is the saving grace, but this thing will one-shot your mothership, and it's heading right for it. Yeah, it'll also run one-shot anything else that happens to be stupid enough to get in its way. It's pretty easy to kill, because it has no weapons. It's just slow-moving, giant object of doom. So you just have to mass your fleet up and wipe it out once you get to that point. This here is really the main point of interest, is these destroyers. Now you will see there's 6 of them. I don't have enough ships to capture 6 destroyers at once, unfortunately. I can only capture 3 of them at once at best. And at best will not actually be a doable thing. The main thing, though, is really these assault frigates. There's so many of them that you end up losing a lot of ships to them. Because they're just ridiculous. They really are. The main thing we really absolutely must get doing, though, is get the main fleet over here. They are the thing that we really have to have in position. Without them, we're pretty well screwed.
Roger.
Now, I'm doing this before the cutscene because, well, that should be pretty obvious, really. I'm doing this before the cutscene because we really need to have our stuff in position. We really need to have our ships where we need them before the fight starts. Because as soon as the fight starts, you're pretty well screwed, if you haven't deployed your ships and got them moving correctly. I love, you have to go to the very edge of the screen, the very edge of the area that the free camera lets you move around to even see all of your ships. And even then, they can only barely see them all. Had I spent the time to capture more ion cannon frigates, you can begin to imagine the kind of numbers that you end up dealing with. I actually do have sufficient ships, if I so chose, to probably assign an ion cannon frigate for every single one of these assault frigates. And an ion cannon frigate will beat the assault frigates. And I'm actually almost tempted to do that. I actually, I don't know. It's such a pain to do that, though. But realistically, I probably will get more out of it if I do. Because I think when I've played this before, and I came here with a fleet like this, with just massive, pretty much unstoppable numbers, I think that's actually what I did, is I sat here and assigned specific targets to every single one of my ships, and just wiped the floor with the enemy. We're not going to do that, though, because that's just kind of weak. But I'm going to skip this cutscene because I need time to get my ships in position, and I don't know that they're actually moving properly while this thing goes on. This is not the asteroid that we're worried about. You may not even be able to hear me very well, but this is not the asteroid we're worried about. That thing right there, the huge round one in the middle, kind of the middle of the screen there, off to the side, is the one we're concerned with, I believe. It's about to run over this little one. Explode. Okay, so yeah, we have that humongous armada to deal with, plus the not inconsiderable weight of the massive capital ship that is bearing down on us. Where did all my resource collectors go? Oh, they're somewhere. Oh, they're in this really weird, whatever the hell's going on here. Okay, capture frigates are really the only thing that I'm that overly concerned with at this point in time. The rest of the fleet isn't really that important. I mean, they're important, don't get me wrong, but they're not really...
Shutting down the inhibitor field has alerted the Titan to our presence.
Move order confirmed. Coordinates confirmed. En route. Move order confirmed. Move order confirmed. Destination locked in.
Yeah, I'm fully aware, thanks.
Moving to destination. Understood. Group 4.
They're on a collision course.
Destination
Yeah,
locked
no
in.
kidding.
Group 5 reporting.
Thanks for noticing.
Group 1. En route.
Now, having done what I did and paused the game before the cutscene started has actually bought me some time, because my ships are closer to being in position than they would have been otherwise. Of course, my big heavy hitters over here are still a freaking mile away. And this is a problem. This is the real problem here, is the fact that these ships are so far away from the rest of the fleet. It takes them so long to get over here. By the time they do, you're kind of in trouble. The Corvettes and stuff that they have are a little more dangerous than they normally should be, realistically.
Group 1 reporting.
Because
moving to intercept. Group 2 copies. Attack vector laid in.
the way that the way strike craft work in this game, they're a little more dangerous, unless I decide to just gravity well generate them. But then my ships are useless. So I'm going to delay doing that as best I can. I'll sacrifice my fighters. I don't absolutely need them, due to the fact that I have so much money. I can easily replenish them.
Group 2.
Not really a concern.
Group 3 copies.
The horde, absolute horde that you can see coming in here, though, of assault frigates. This is just ridiculous. I mean, look at this. This is insane. That in of itself, right there, would be insane. And then you have this huge line of them here. It's just retarded. I don't know. I really don't know how they expect anybody to be able
Standing
to
by.
successfully capture or successfully beat something like this if you didn't have a just ridiculous fleet like I have and you've captured like half the ships in the game that you've come across. I don't really know how you're supposed to accomplish this unless you do that. Obviously, if you do something like I've done, they're considerably less of a threat, but it's still pretty darn just insane. And I still don't really understand how
Impact
they
in 5 minutes.
really honestly expect anyone to be able to,
Group 2 standing by.
you know, deal with something like this.
Engaging.
Alright, open up with the guns. Tear through these enemy fighter craft and stuff. We can wipe out most of them, and then we can deal with the
Group 4 standing by. Alright,
okay, now will be the time.
copy.
Now is the time I'm going to sit here and I'm going to sign out kill orders to my ships. You may say this is overkill, but it's really not because of the sheer number of enemy ships that there are to deal with. It's really not overkill. And I intend to try to lose a few less of them than I lost. I played this off camera to try just to have an idea of what I was going into. And I lost basically all my ships. It was pretty bad. It really was. Truly was pretty atrocious. I'm just gonna assign all of you to go after them. Screw it. I don't even care. I don't even care. Now, I have one big advantage, and that's the simple fact that my capital ships will melt, absolutely melt, these guys. And after I've assigned the initial kill orders... Oh, come on, target the right thing. The initial kill order here, basically I'm going to assign them to take out the wall, the row here, and then the giant blob there will just crush pretty much with the primary fleet when the time comes. Oh, missed one. And one-on-one, a assault frigate will lose to an ion cannon frigate, so assigning these individual kill targets is perfectly legit and will 100% work. Because an ion cannon frigate will easily outclasses an assault frigate in ship-to-ship. You know, capital versus capital combat, one-on-one battle. They can't even come close to matching a ion cannon frigate because of the fact that the damage that they do is simply superior.
Attack coordinates located.
Versus ships.
On our way. Alright, hang in there. Under
Versus
attack.
large ships.
I got one.
Then the damage that the little guns of an assault frigate can dish out. So we'll let all of the fleet there dish off. Then I'll assign the ships that didn't get assigned.
Standing by.
The ships that got missed. I will assign them some targets. I will include the ion cannon frigate, or the assault frigates in the fleet there. They may not be able to individually go, you know, win easily against the enemy ships. But then you also have the simple fact that there's the sheer number of ships that my fleet has. And that makes it more than possible for me to deal with everything they've got, really. They really have little... I'm really in little danger of losing.
Lock all weapons on target.
Like, these guys, I just ordered them basically to engage, and it's gonna be
Got enemy
It's gonna be pretty much game over for their fleet. Now that they've been ordered to engage,
attack run
it's
initiated.
they're pretty much done. You guys don't have a chance.
Strike group under enemy attack.
Sorry, guys, you're done.
Cabin pressure dropping.
Frigate lost.
See, I am losing ships. That's to be expected because the sheer, frankly, the massive number of ships that they have.
4 minutes.
There's very little that I could do to deal with so many ships easily. But now, see, I have my fighters and corvettes have been devastated. So now is the time to engage the gravity well generators, because most of my ships are down. I have a few left, but most of mine have been wiped out by their corvettes and stuff. That's easy enough to deal with, though, because as soon as the gravity well generator deploys, their fighters and corvettes become absolutely useless. Like, there's literally no point to them even having them. So, yeah. Let's see, what did we want? We wanted... what was it? 35? Let's say 30 interceptors, 30 attack bombers, and then I had 10 defenders. Okay, that's being built at the mothership, and then the carrier can build up our corvettes, which we haven't actually lost that many corvettes. We're not doing bad on the corvette front. We're not doing great, but we're not doing bad. Okay, there we go. Now all of their fighters that were left are now just disabled and they're useless. So they are no longer a threat to me. Of course, my fighters are disabled too, but that's acceptable in this instance. Okay, the fleet really needs to... you guys really need to get pounded on these guys. Quickly, please. See, I've got locked in on those three, and then we've got a single one on these guys to disable them and trap them in place, so that the fleet can basically pound the smaller ships into scrap metal. We are losing ships, though. I just lost a... unfortunately, I lost one of my support frigates, which is a problem, because the support frigates are not replaceable. Okay, now we need to order the fleet that has been disengaged to hold their fire, because I don't want them engaging the larger ships there. Okay, now we need to find the gravity well generator. Probably need to swap you out just to be safe. So swap you for the other one.
Impact in 3 minutes.
Yeah, we got plenty of time. 3 minutes is far more than I actually require. So, unfortunately, that one free destroyer is going to get killed, but that's alright. That's alright. Okay, you're pretty much free to go to engage now. Like, there's really very little... really very little in the way of resistance left that they have available to them. And that's pretty much how you do it. I have basically wiped them out. They really have pretty much no ships left. I've pretty effectively wiped the floor with them. I really wish you guys would stop firing. I really do. You have a specific target I want killed. Go kill that thing. Would you mind not targeting the ships that I'm trying to capture, please? Yeah, see, they will melt this thing so quick, it won't even know what happened to it. It's pretty much already dead. It just doesn't know it yet. Boom! Game over. I win. Alright, I need to get the fleet, the main fleet, out of there, because I do not want them, and for that matter, the smaller ships, too. Because I don't want these destroyers, which I'm trying to capture, to tear up my ships too much. Let's pull you guys back. Get everybody the hell out of there. Yeah, see, they just destroyed a frigate. That's not good. Don't want them being able to do that. We need to get you out of the line of fire.
Hyperspace module charged and ready.
Yeah, you'll see that the even though there's still enemy ships, they the mission's over because we destroyed the giant fucking Rock of Doom that was trying to kill us. And once we have I want to capture those other destroyers is the problem basically that I have right this second. So as soon as that has been done, I can have my fleet turn back around and come over and kill the these fighters and stuff. In fact, I could probably do it now. Probably can do it now, because these guys shouldn't be able to really shoot me anymore. I should be out of their effective range of them being able to really hit me easily. So, I did a pretty good job. I only lost a couple of frigates. I think I had 41 before, now I've got 39. That's not bad. That's a pretty good deal there. Let's get you guys, the heavy cruisers moving in particular, because they seem to have a real tendency to shoot things they shouldn't be shooting. Heavy cruisers seem to have a real tendency to want to shoot stuff they shouldn't be shooting at. Like you. I don't know why you're shooting at him at all. You shouldn't be. So how about you turn your crazy butt around and stop shooting at stuff that you shouldn't be shooting at. Okay, thanks. Oh, did I lose the... Damn, I lost one of them. That's fine. We can build another one. It's not like we are short on resources in any way, shape, or form. We're not. I have so many of them that I could care less about losing a few. And the multi-gun corvettes here should be more than sufficient to deal with you guys. So let's pull the entirety of the capital ship fleet out so they stop shooting at the ships I'm trying to capture. And there we go. That's enough capture frigates to take that destroyer. And now we can have all the corvettes pulled back. We lost not a single salvage corvette, which is good. I'm going to build 2 more multi-gun corvettes. That will get the corvette group maxed out. And interceptors can go over there. Fightercraft are almost rebuilt. Corvettes will be replenished here in a moment. And the fleet is back to full strength without any really any more than a blip. Really no more than a blip in our capabilities. Oops. Well, that's fine. Wasn't what I was aiming to select there, but that's perfectly alright, because we need them too. Those are the interceptors. Alright, so there we go. Select all the multi-gun corvettes and the defenders in Group 3. And voila. Now we just sit and wait for the last couple destroyers to be captured, and the fight is over. I'm going to go ahead and call it here, folks. This is definitely a shorter episode compared to the last one, which was very long. But the last one was very long because of the simple fact that that's one of the longer missions, really, in the whole game. This one, short and vicious. This is one of the most difficult fights in the game, but it is a short, vicious fight, as you can tell. And really, very little needs to be spared in this fight. It's pretty much a get in, rock their faces off, and get out. Now, yeah, the first time I played this, I was down to, I think, like 30 frigates. Like, I lost quite a few frigates. I don't think I lost any destroyers or cruisers or anything, but I was down, like, a lot of frigates. Before I managed to wipe their fleet out, and I didn't capture as many destroyers. I only captured, like, 3 of them, instead of the, what, 5? We only destroyed 1? It's pretty good. So yeah, I definitely did better this time, which is what I intended. My whole intention, basically, was just to make sure, figure out what I was dealing with, and pretty much go in knowing, having reminded myself of what I was dealing with. I knew this level was coming. I fully remembered it. I just wasn't sure when it was going to happen. Anyway, folks, next level is actually the end of the game. It's the final mission. The big slugfest that will not actually be difficult for me in the slightest because my fleet is so large that the number of ships they send at you at any given moment, they don't have a chance. I could go ship to ship for them, 1 versus 1, and have plenty of ships left over and without even breaking a sweat. So yeah, I am not even mildly concerned about the final mission. So easy. But that'll be next time, folks. So thank you for watching. It's been Homeworld Remastered. I have been Falcon, your host, and I will see you all then. Bye-bye.